So you're thinking about moving to Dallas, Texas, but you're really not sure where to go? Well, there are a lot of places in and around the Dallas area that may be suited for your family. So depending on kind of what your lifestyle is and what your family needs, really depends on where you should live. So in this video, I'm going to share with you the top 5 reasons you should not move to Dallas, Texas, and we're getting started right now. Hey there, my name is Ian.flannigan and I'm a local real estate agent right here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, and I've been helping people buy and sell real estate all over the Metroplex for about 15 years. And honestly, my partners and I have people reach out to us from all over the United States that are relocating into the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, and we absolutely love it. So if you're looking to relocate and buy a house in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, don't hesitate, give me a phone call, shoot me a text message, send over an email, however you want to communicate. We have your back when you're moving into the DFW Metroplex. Now, I have lived all over the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. I've lived in downtown Dallas, I've lived in uptown Dallas, I've lived as far as Grapevine. I graduated high school in Irving, Texas, and I currently live in Plano, Texas, and I absolutely love it. I've been in Plano for about 15 years, so I have definitely seen the good, the bad, and the ugly with living in the Dallas Metroplex. Stay till the very end because I'm going to share with you the #1 reason why you don't want a Dallas address when you're looking to buy a home in the area. So starting with number 5, the traffic here is horrible. If you're going to be commuting over 20 to 30 minutes, you need to make sure that you're going to live really close to where you work. The construction here in Dallas, Texas is just atrocious. There's construction everywhere. There's so much expansion happening all around the city. They're expanding the highways, they're expanding the on-ramps, the roads, and traffic can really be a headache when you have to commute long distances. Not only that, the roads are terrible. When you're talking about Dallas proper, really close to downtown Dallas and just the surrounding areas around downtown Dallas, the roads are terrible. So if you have a really nice car with low profile tires, you're probably going to be busting some tires and some wheels every once in a while. Not only is the construction really bad, but the drivers are crazy here in Dallas. I don't know if you've ever heard about the Dallas drivers, but they will run you over, they will cut you off. People are in a hurry to get everywhere. So the drivers and other people on the roads aren't so great here in Dallas, Texas. Now, number 4, the weather here is terrible. If you do not like hot weather, then Dallas probably isn't a place that you want to live. We can have as high as 105 for 30 days straight. Everything dries out, the grass dies. It is really, really hot here in Dallas, Texas. Now, a flip side to that, when it rains, it pours here. The odd thing about this part of the country is it can be really sunny and 75 degrees one day, and then the next 3 days in a row, it's raining really, really heavy. So we have these major shifts in the weather from really hot to really cold to really rainy. But flooding here in the North Texas area is probably the #1 thing that you need to be concerned with, because if you have a house, you need to make sure the drainage is okay, that you can get the water away from the home. But not only that, the roads will be completely covered in water. There are some areas, if you're close to creeks, that the water will overflow. I had some people reach out from New York and they were asking, should they be concerned about the weather here in Texas? And I really wouldn't say be concerned, because tornadoes have touched down here in the last few years. There's been one major tornado that tore through the north part of the city, tore up a lot of homes, tore up a lot of businesses, but there wasn't anyone that was a victim to the tornadoes. You need to know about it. It is Tornado Alley. It is hot here. It does rain quite a bit. Now, number 3, everything here in Dallas and the surrounding area is flat. And what I mean by flat is there isn't any mountains, there isn't an ocean anywhere. But the one thing that the area does have is there are lakes everywhere. So if you don't have a pool or access to a pool at your home, the only other place to go is to the lake. So they're about 30 minutes away in every direction around the DFW Metroplex. There are lakes. I live up north in Plano, and there are 2 lakes that are within 20 minutes from me. Now, if you do like to hike or swim or do anything outdoors, there is a lot of activities out here. There are basically marathons almost every single weekend. With the lakes everywhere, there's tons of things to do that are outside. And on top of everything being flat here, depending on where you live, if you want one of those walkable type of cities with bars and restaurants, there are just a few pockets around the area that actually have those type of amenities. So depending on what your family's needs are, depends on kind of where you end up landing, where you have the bars and restaurants really close. Obviously, downtown Dallas and uptown Dallas has a really big nightlife. So if you're looking for that, I probably recommend there. But if you have a family and you have small children and all that, you do not want to be living in the downtown area or the uptown area. That's when the suburbs all around the city, anywhere from Hearst to Euless to Bedford up to Louisville, Flower Mound. Then you have Capel, then you have Plano, Texas, and Richardson and Murphy. There are a lot of suburbs around the Dallas area that would probably be more suitable for your family. Now, number 2, there are some really bad areas in the south area of Dallas that has a lot of crime and just things aren't moving and growing like they are in some of the other parts of the city. If you're looking to move into Dallas, you want to stay away from the south part of the city. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but there is just not much growth going on down there. There are some pockets when you get a little bit further south, once you get past I-20, that are really nice areas. But for the most part, there is more crime in the south part of the city than anywhere else in the Metroplex. Now, the number 1 reason you do not want to move to Dallas, Texas, especially if you have small children, are the schools. Now, the Dallas Independent School District doesn't even rank in the top 100 for school districts in the entire state of Texas. And actually, according to niche.com, 44% of students are actually proficient in reading and 37% are proficient in math. So what does that tell you? The school system in Dallas is not great. That is why there is so much demand in the north part of the city. So once you get up to Richardson, the Richardson Independent School District and up, they rank in the top 10 in the entire state of Texas because that's where people want to live. You can buy a beautiful home there. You can get your children into really, really good schools, and you can be assured that your children are going to get a good education. So when you're looking to make a move into the Dallas area, don't hesitate. Reach out to me. Give me a phone call. Shoot me a text message. Send over an email, however you want to communicate. I look forward to having your back whenever you move into the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And one of the things that I love doing with my clients is setting up a Zoom meeting. And the reason is I like to share my screen and show you the different areas around town. We can do map searches. I can show you properties. I can actually show you different areas. And depending on what your needs are, it depends on kind of what area of the town that I would recommend for you to actually buy a property in. My wife and I used to live in uptown Dallas, and we made the move up to Plano, Texas, and we couldn't be happier. We have a little girl now. We have an elementary school right down the street. There is a huge park down there that we take her down to, but there are parks here. There are over 85 parks in the Plano area. There are 2 nature preserves. I've never seen anything like it as far as a small suburb in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. So if you want to get a little bit more information about the area that I live up here north, you can click on one of these next videos. You can look at some of the newer homes. You can look at Legacy West. And obviously, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me. So I'll see you on the next video.